Today, I'm going to talk about the importance of knowing who your ideal target client is and how you can decide who it should be if, as an insight agency, you're unsure. So, one of the things that distinguishes research and insight agencies that grow more quickly and with apparent ease is their clarity and focus on their ideal target client. They're able to say with some certainty and confidence who they want to sell to. And that clarity helps them determine what they sell, how they sell it. And that makes the sales process, I think, work more effectively and more efficiently. It allows them to clearly communicate the benefits that their clients, their ideal target client, will get from working with them. It differentiates them in a potentially competitive market. And ultimately, it does make their sales and growth easier to achieve. And I'd almost go on to say that the agencies that really grow quickly are very singular in their ideal target client definition. It's not just all heads of insight or anyone with research in their job title. They will go into far more detail and are willing to exclude or deprioritize certain sections of the market they could potentially sell to. Again, I think this focuses their issues, their energies and their resources, and makes for a far more effective, qualified sales process. So the question I'd ask is, does your agency have that clearly envisaged ideal target client? Is the answer, we work with all sorts of clients and we don't like to limit ourselves? Or is it something more precise and focused? So if you do think you want to focus in on your ideal target client, how do you get to the point where you can say who that is? How can you describe with some certainty that it's a specific person in a particular type of business, located in a specific place, doing a particular job? And my advice for how to get there is to start macro and then to drill down into detail. So force yourself to make choices. And there are 3 or 4 levels you can work from. So the first level is start with firmographic characteristics. So does your ideal target client work in a business that is global or domestic? Is it business located in a particular geography? What's their revenue size? What's their headcount? What's their marketing budget? Marketing budget, I think, is quite a good one. Are they established? Is it an established business or are they in a startup? What's the ownership structure? Is it public or private? Are they in a B2C or a B2B sort of business? Base your decisions partly on who you currently work with, but also who you think there is an opportunity for growth and where that's most obvious. So that's the first stage, macro. Then drilling down. So look at industry sector or industry sector. So there are lots of different lists or typographies out there to decide on sectors. I like the GIX one, or the LinkedIn one's quite useful. You can find them doing just a simple Google search. Again, try and force yourself to be specific and resist the temptation to pick lots of sectors. It's 2 or 3 at max. And then finally get to the level of, so the third stage is finally get to the level of the individual. So what department do they sit in? What is their job title? What level of seniority do they have? How long have they been in role? Who do they report to? What budgets do they have control over? So those are your 3 main levels. If you really want to go into the detail, and some of my clients do, and I think it works very effectively, you can actually go down to a needs-based segmentation, where you look at the types of personality or the types of culture that your ideal target client might have, and try and work out what best sits with your agency culture and your personality as an account director or salesperson. So to summarize, getting growth into your agency is not necessarily straightforward. And I'd argue doing it without a clearly defined ideal target client is almost impossible. It will mean, if you decide to have your ideal target client clearly and specifically defined, that you will rule out some possible targets and some possible bits of the market. But it will give you so much more to work with when you think about your brand building and your sales activation. And in the end, as an agency owner, I'd ask myself this question: would you prefer to have a clear, specific target to try and hit, or would you like to wear a blindfold and essentially spray stuff against a wall in the hope that some of it sticks? I hope that's useful in trying to help you identify who your ideal target client could be. As ever, if you've got any questions, please do get hold of me, contact me, and in the meantime, have a really great day.